Hello, everyone. I'm Mark Cook. I'm the CEO of Shiny Shoe. We are the creators of Monster Train. Welcome to another developer stream. To kick things off, I'd be happy to answer any questions that anybody has. Please post them in chat, and then I will get to whichever ones we have time to get to, and we can continue to do that throughout the entire stream. Last week, we launched Wild Mutations about exactly 1 week ago. And that was our first big major content update for Monster Train. So I hope everyone who's playing the game is still having fun with that and exploring all of the new functionality. So we'll take a look at a little bit more of the things we've done just recently in the last week or so. We've added one new feature that I think a lot of people were asking for. And if you're following the game closely, you probably already know what it is. But when we jump over to the game, I'll show it in just a minute. And I also want to announce that in 1 week's time, at the same time right now, we'll have the lead designer of Monster Train, Andrew Krausnick, will be streaming instead of me. And if you have detailed game design questions that you want answers to about why certain things were balanced in certain ways or tuned certain ways, you're welcome to ask him. All right. To jump over briefly to the game to show the new feature that I was just talking about, let's take a look. So after releasing Wild Mutations, one of the top things that players had asked for was the ability to turn on Googly Eyes without preventing progression in single player. Because Googly Eyes is implemented as a mutator to the game, and we don't allow people to progress currently in single player if mutators are active, that would prevent progression. But people who just want that cosmetic change, just because it's fun, it's funny, they like it, I love it too. We've added a new settings option. So it's right here under graphics. Just Googly Eyes on and off. It's just a global graphics option. If you set this to on, which we'll do for today, then you will have Googly Eyes in any mode that you're playing with no other impact on gameplay. So that is available now for anybody who is interested in global Googly Eyes. All right, got a question. Binkley, is it possible to add a feature to pick certain clans for the random feature, like have it random only choose from 2 clans? I know it's small, but cool for getting those Cov 25 wins on random. Yes, it's theoretically possible to add that for sure. I'd say we probably won't add that right now because we're currently focused on our next big update, which I can't really go into any details on just yet. We're going to be definitely announcing things over the next few weeks about what's going to be in that update and showing off some kind of previews of it and so on. But, you know, a lot of the things that players have been asking for, we are doing in this next major update. And we're really focused on these things that are going to add a lot of new functionality to the game that creates a lot more variety for runs and so on. So Binkley, as much as I would like to add that feature for you, we've got to stay focused on these like bigger things. So I think it's unlikely we're going to do that one. So for now, you're still going to have to switch clans manually or just accept total random. All right, Crack-a-Lack and Chris, have you been working with any modders to help make modded content for the game? So I haven't personally, but I know that we've done a handful of small things to make modding a little bit more accessible, let's say. But we aren't doing a ton on the development team side right now. However, it appears that industrious modders are definitely doing things because one thing I can see is we have some automated error reporting, and the reason why we do that is to try to see what like problems that our players might be facing so we can fix them. And there's errors that clearly show that people are injecting new code into Monster Train to create modded features. So it's moving forward. It has our blessing. You know, anybody who is interested in modding is still, of course, welcome to talk about it on Discord, where we have our modding kind of chat channel set up. You probably already know about that, Crackalack and Chris, because I've seen your name on these streams a number of times. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now with modding. Is like we're in support of it. If there are small things that we can do to help make it easier, we will do those things. So yeah, I'm not currently aware of any requests from the modding community, so that's where it's at for me right now. AmphiDSF, what's the best error you've got? Best? I don't know how you would quantify best, so I gotta think about that for a second. I think the ones that are like anything that's widespread, we want to fix as fast as possible. So we've updated after Wild Mutations came out 1 week ago. I think we've patched the game 3 or 4 times to address issues that were faced by customers to try to fix the most common bugs. But in terms of best, when I think about what's the best, I start to think about esoteric ones. So one thing that we did in Wild Mutations that was a bug fix for certain users across the world. It's a thing that like I kind of vaguely knew about personally, but didn't really know how widespread it was. Is there's all kinds of calendars around the world for how people measure the time, what's the date, what year is it, and so on. So most places around the world use the Gregorian calendar, I believe it's called, which is what we use in the United States. However, there are countries and cultures and religions and so on that use different types of calendars. So one that was broken for sure was the Thai Buddhist calendar. Had some weird issues where in the game it would say the year was 1477. It would prevent you from playing Hell Rush because we thought that, basically you're 600 years in the past or whatever, so your Hell Rushes would never start. You couldn't move from the starting line as you watched other people kind of their trains take off and didn't have that problem. So there was a bug fix that addressed that. However, it's clear that we did not get all of them correct. So there is another new calendar error that's popped up that's related to, I forget the name. It's one that's used, I believe, in the Middle East. So we've got another kind of calendar issue that we need to look into. So it is interesting that those are the ones that are the most interesting to me, I think, are the ones that are like that we would have had a really hard time predicting. So those are, I think, my favorite bugs. All right, Finvara says, inquiry, are there any plans to quench the player thirst for cooperative play modes? Right now, we are not working on a cooperative play mode, so I can say that. I don't know if that means we will never add that. So I'm still definitely kind of open to the concept, and I think it would be fun too. But right now we are focused, again, I can't reveal any of the specifics yet. We will be going over some of the specifics on coming streams, and then of course whenever the next major update is totally ready, there'll be another public test, just like we did from Wild Mutations, and we plan to have the same workflow basically. But we're adding content that affects basically all runs is kind of what we're working on right now. For whatever mode you're playing, it's going to affect all runs in some way. So that's right where the focus is currently, because we think that'll add the most additional replayability and variance and strategic depth to the game. So that's where our current development focus is. As a reminder for anybody that has feedback that they want to send to us, there is a feature in the game, I'll show it briefly, where you can send feedback. You press the F8 key, and it pops up this user interface. It says, submitting feedback will capture your log file, save game, and a screenshot. You type in whatever you want to type in, and then if you press the submit button, it sends your feedback and this other information directly to the development team so that we can hear your thoughts, or if you're reporting a bug and so on. Feel free to use that liberally. We definitely see all of them. We read all of them. So it's a great way to get feedback directly to the team. All right. What is this? Okay. Yeah. Okay, I see what this is. Okay, this is an example of feedback that we got from somebody a long time ago. I don't think we've ever mentioned this one. We get some things that are interesting on that feedback channel for sure. A lot of it is useful, and a lot of it is valuable bug reports and kind of thoughts about cards and balance and so on. So we really appreciate all players who send in all of that sort of stuff. But periodically we'll get something that's kind of out there, kind of wacky. So I got, this is a piece of feedback we got like a week or two ago. And I love whoever did this. So here's what it says. Good people, I missed my introduction, but please, I pray you, hear it now. For I would lay rest the grace in my tongue and speak plainly. Days like these are far too rare to cheapen with heavy-handed words, and so I'm afraid, without any ado whatsoever. Excuse me, my lord. Here they are, one of your own, born a stone's throw from this very duplication well, and here before you now, the son of Stygian. Sir Mollusk Mage. Yes, behold my lord Mollusk Mage, the rock, the hard place. Like a wind from Stygian, they sweeps by blown far from his homeland. In search of glory and honor, we walk in the garden of its turbulence. 10 out of 10 would Mollusk Mage again. I hope you all enjoyed that reading of player feedback. If you want to send us other poems or little, I guess, stories about your play experiences, slam that F8 key and type it in, whatever it is you're thinking. And Cricket says, you know this is going to happen more often now, right? Well, I hope it does. I love stuff like this. The only type of feedback that we don't really like is rage without logic or just trolling, right? But funny stuff like this story, the dev team, we eat this stuff up. It's awesome. So yeah, feel free to share with us more and use that in-game feedback feature. Cool. All right, well, let's jump over to the game. Oh, hold on. I've got another question from Crackalack and Chris. Is there any new events going on or cards for clans that are already in the game? Yes. And that's all that we're going to say for today. So, yeah, the next big update is focused around those types of things. Cool. Let's jump over. All right. We are going to play a run. I have been thinking about which one to play, and I'm happy to continue to take questions, so feel free to send them over as I go. I was thinking about possibly playing the daily challenge. So I will show the community challenges feature again. This is something that was reorganized in Wild Mutations. So we now have featured challenges. All the ones down here are algorithmically chosen for like most popular and so on, just based on player activity. There's one that's featured by the devs, and I decided to feature my own run yesterday. So we've got a new featured run that was, I guess, updated this morning that I created, that I already played. So I probably won't play this one, but just as a, like, hey, you should check this one out. I think it's an interesting run. We've got the Stygian Guard and Awoken as your clans, and these mutators. We've got duality, so double stacks of all status effects. Usually it's good for players. It does also double status effects on enemies that can be positive to them too, though. We've got volatile spells. The targets of spells are chosen randomly. I thought that was like definitely something to make using the Stygian Guard harder in an interesting way. And we've got one-track mind where the path on the map is chosen automatically, so you don't get to choose it. So I'm currently in 17th place with a score of 11,682. A couple of people have finished the run successfully. It was definitely super hard, I thought. It's also at Covenant 5. Just decided to spice it up, make it harder than a normal daily challenge. So yeah, check that one out if you're interested in playing it. It's tough. All right, Finvara says, inquiry. Some players have expressed to me frustration that runs are too short and too random to really satisfy their desire for toothier deck building and more reliable combos. Are there any plans to satisfy players with those feelings? For runs too short, we are not intending to add more battles to a run in the near term. I think we're roughly considering possibly the concept of doing that in a kind of longer term basis, but probably not in the next big update. And we're still, somewhat thinking about what an infinite mode might mean. I know that's been requested a bunch of times, but don't have anything in particular to announce about that right now. And for more reliable combos and just the randomness of the game, I don't think there's any specific plans for us to change how the kind of generation of cards work or rewards work and so on the map. If you have specific thoughts or ideas about what types of things you're looking for, we're always interested to hear that type of feedback from players about, what are the features that would give you what it is that you're looking for. So I haven't specifically heard that particular feedback. So if you have suggestions on what types of things you're referring to, let me know, and I'd be happy to talk about them. All right. So I was thinking of playing the daily today. So this is on the live version of the game. A bunch of people have won this one. I can see if I can win. What do we got? We got the Melting Remnant and Awoken as our clans. Never Say Die Mutator. Friendly units get endless Strike hard. All units get multi-strike 1. That's a kind of double-edged sword. So is Never Say Die, actually. All friendly units get endless can backfire by clogging your hand if you have a lot of weak units dying all the time. Strike hard also affects enemies, so it can be both good and bad. It's great if you have quick. You know, enemies do attack first, of course, as everybody who's played the game before knows. And finally, Ninja Training. Minor bosses enter with Stealth 5. Which is something you have to think about. That's a downside for sure. So let's give it a try. All right. What did we get? We got Molten Encasement. All right, let's look at Seraph first. So we've got the Temper the Strength of your unit. So we've got the Sap Seraph. And our cards are Molten Encasement, Sting, and Wicked Blaze. So Molten Encasement gives us stealth, which is great. Sting, of course, deals damage and draw an extra card, which is always good to cast. Costs 0 anyways. And Wicked Blaze, reform and give an additional +10. Wicked Blaze is not a good card in this run, I think, because with Endless, no units will ever be in the consume pile to be candidates for reform because of the Never Say Die mutator, I think. So that is not, you know, the best kind of early outcome. It's always fun to see who the players are over here, so we kind of split up the daily challenge live players into little groups. So I like that Wham1756 is using the Stygian champion as their icon, so cheers to that. All right. Okay, in terms of our artifact, what do we want? So we've got Iron Drop Cage. Whenever you play a spell that would ascend or descend an enemy unit, also apply Daze 2. And Winged Indulgence, enemies get -1. So we currently have no way to make a unit go up or down, although Iron Drop Cage got significantly buffed in Wild Mutations because it was changed. It used to, like, you had to move the unit for it to count. Now, even if they can't move, it still counts and it still triggers. So that's still, like, a pretty nice artifact, and I'm tempted just to try it under the hope that we can get, I guess, Drip Fall. Given that we're playing Melting Remnant and Awoken, the two candidates are Drip Fall and Restoring Retreat are the two cards that we could get that would trigger Iron Drop Cage. So let's just pick it. I want to try it. All right, Darkest Tempest asks, how does one even get 57,000 points in a run? Tell us your best strategy. 57,000 points. Well, I mean, ultimately, to get the highest possible score, you have to do a couple of things. You have to, 1, take almost no damage. 2, you've got to kill all bosses as quickly as you can. So for the flying bosses, you want to kill them before they even go into the Relentless phase. And for the normal bosses, you want to kill them on the first floor when they come out. So how to do that is really about dealing damage rapidly. I will say, though, that, like, some super high scores, sometimes they are related to cheats. Just to reiterate our position on that, if you want to cheat in single player, go ahead. It's up to you. We're totally fine with that. If you want to use cheats in multiplayer, though, and we catch you, we will ban you. So we don't want to have leaderboards polluted by cheaters. So we are definitely actively banning people who we catch cheating. All right. So Dark Forge. What do we want on our champion? So we've got the, I mean, having multi-strike is so nice baseline for Burn Bright, but right now we have no way to add any additional burnout, but maybe we don't care because he's going to have Endless. So I'm definitely leaning towards that. That seems very strong. Harvest is nice. This got a significant buff too for in the update for Wild Mutations, but I don't think it's what I want to go for in this case. So I'm going for Burn Bright. Let's just try it. Okay. Guardians of the Light. Armor 10. We've seen quite a few people have won the run with fairly high scores, so I'm going to assume that it is possible to win by taking all trials. That's another way, it's another important component to getting the highest score possible, is you have to also take all trials. So I think based on the fact that I've seen the leaderboards and there's quite a few people that have won with fairly high scores, I think we need to take all trials just immediately moving forward to try to ensure that we can be in that top of the leaderboard. Alright, so we've got a Rector Flicker, we've got our Train Steward. Should we just start playing Molten Encasement? I mean, we're going to get stealth every single turn. The fact that he has Burnout means it's not, like, the best thing in the world, probably, but, you know, what the hell. Let's start doing it. Start laying some of these guys down. We can do this in preparation if we have to have another round of combat. Crackalack and Chris says, what is theoretically the highest score possible? Yeah, I think that's an interesting question. I don't actually know what it is. I don't know what the highest score possible is. Alright, there's our champion back, so the combo that I was expecting did work. We don't really care about Burnout so much on him because we've got Never Say Die. I mean, it would be nice if he didn't go away due to that. Yeah, this doesn't look... Oh, it's because the enemies have multi-strike too. That is a little gnarly, so let's start setting up just in case. Oh, and it's also because that boss, I forgot that. I should have played him on the other floor. Alright, doesn't matter. I guess we get him again. So, yeah, he came in with five stacks of stealth. That is hard to deal with. Okay, looking good though now for us. Yeah, so theoretically the highest score possible, Crackalack and Chris, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's definitely, it's somewhere like around 60,000 though, I'm pretty sure. We also do give you points based on gold, so probably with all easy mutators on Covenant 0, you can probably get a lot of gold if you get lucky with the right events and so on. So I think you get points for gold up to like 2,000 something gold, and then there's a cap, which almost nobody without cheating gets 2,000 gold in a run at the end. But, you know, if you use a bunch of positive mutators, maybe you can get there. And just to answer your other question, what's my favorite clan or clan combo? I think my favorite clan is probably the Umbra. And my favorite combo with the Umbra might be Hellhorned. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have fun messing around. Like, it's just, and trying them all. I don't really, like, get focused on a particular clan, which is why I like these modes, like the Daily Challenge, where we kind of randomly pick clans for you, because I just like exploring everything, really. But I think Umbra Hellhorn is maybe my favorite. All right, Darkest Tempest is 2,500 gold the max. I think so. If anybody at Shiny Shoe knows in the chat, please let me know. All right. And Dirty Dev Game says, hello, I just arrived, so I'm sorry if this already got brought up, but since the Melting Umbra got nerfed, well, we changed it so we could buff Harvest. Harvest got buffed, so don't forget that. I was wondering if you could change the order to Burnout and then Gorge. Thank you for your consideration. Okay, so why are you suggesting this, Dirty Dev Games? Let me think. So if you burned out a morsel first, it would not get eaten. I mean, I remember specifically we made it work the way it currently works to benefit the player, so that Gorge would happen first. But yes, we have changed how that interaction works now, because we wanted to buff Harvest for other clan combos, and we couldn't do it. So, what would that mean? It would mean that if, yeah, I mean, it could be a negative in some case. I mean, if you were trying to, yeah, I don't know, maybe you could combo more with Harvest if you allowed that. So you could get more Harvest triggers. So maybe that's the right decision. I don't know. Anyways, like, I'll think about that more, and I'll suggest it to the team as well to see what they think. Crackalack and Chris says, how did Harvest get buffed again? Harvest got buffed just purely based on, like, stats and so on. Like, the amount of additional bonus you get from Harvest was increased. Okay, well, two juicy things here. And there's, like, numerous Harvest units, although most of them, or maybe all of them, I'm not sure I remember specifically, but most of them are in the Melting Remnant. So we wanted to buff Harvest so that is a more useful mechanic when Harvest units are played with other clans other than the Umbra. So we still ultimately think that was the right change and benefits the game more overall, even though it was, I fully admit, kind of fun to have like ridiculous deaths of morsels doing Harvest kind of engines to keep generating more. That was fun. It felt good, but it felt bad when you were playing harvest units with other clans, and now that's a lot better in terms of balance. So we still think that was ultimately the right decision for the overall balance of the game. All right, I'll jump back to the questions in just a sec. So let's pick our card first, though. So Entombed Explosive, I really like tombs in general with Endless. Like, this is free 50 damage every single turn. However, I also took Iron Drop Cage, and I talked about Dripfall, and here it is. So this is going to, if we cast this on anybody, it applies days 3, which is really good. So I'm tempted just to try it, even if it's like maybe not the best pick, just because I took Iron Drop Cage. So I'm doing it. All right, in our Allied Clan pack, do we want any of these? I don't think we care at all about regen. I don't think we care that much about Steel Enhancer either, because we're getting our units back all the time, and we already went down the burnout path for Rector Flicker, so he's going to be dying all the time. Glimmer gives us AoE spell damage. Do we care about that? Do we like that? I mean, that definitely has some utility, and if we can get some magic power buffs on this might be good, although we are definitely incentivized to go to Merchant of Steels because we've got the multi-strike on all of our units. So, I don't know. Really don't care about Restore. I want to get Restore's Purge out of my deck. I might take Glimmer. Let's take it. I think there might be some utility there. Oh, yes. So many good guys here. So, Big Sludge got buffed. That's one of the characters. He's a harvest unit. He got buffed. He gets more rage now. Rage 5, and he's got multi-strike. That works really well. So does Quick with multi-strike. I was talking about Quick. That is also nice. The Woken Hollow, nah, I don't care about him. So it's either Big Sludge or Animus of Speed here for me. Trying to decide. Well, we're talking about Harvest. What the hell? Let's go Big Sludge. I think I saw some feedback from the in-game feedback feature recently where you can press F8, like we talked about a minute ago, where somebody said they think Big Sludge is really good now, so let's see. All right, Sinister Hologram says, what do you think about a unit kind of like a Morsel Maker, except it produces a random imp? Yeah, that could be cool. So, although I'm not really ready to reveal any details, we are definitely adding more content to the game and more types of units and so on. So just to say that at a high level. So it's possible we might do something like that. I will say, though, right now, if you use the Hive Mind mutator, which makes all unit types count for all units, Morsel Maker will copy, or Morsel Master, I can't remember which one, but it'll copy imps also, because imps are also morsels. So check that out if you haven't tried it. All right, Cricket says, why isn't there an achievement for winning Covenant 25 with all different combinations? Don't know. Maybe we should add that. We added a few more achievements as part of Wild Mutations, and we could add that too. So something for us to add to the list of ideas for things to add to the game. Thank you. All right, Threnzy says, is there any secret behind Bone Dog's favor? No. I've 140 hours in the game, achieved everything possible, and I've never seen this card. Even spent the last 2 days taking every cave event. Yeah, so it does come from a Concealed Caverns event. It comes from a specific one. It comes from the one where you get potions, I believe, is the one that you can randomly get it. The random chance to get it is, I forget, it's like 1 in 7 though. It's not super low, and it's an Easter egg card we put into the game. It kind of references a past game that we made. And so I wish you the best of luck in finding Bone Dog's favor. There's got to be a share code out there in the community challenges. I mean, I know for sure there must be one that has that specific event in it, that Concealed Caverns event. And if it has that, you can just play that over and over until it drops. Every time you replay that, or you can clone that event, it'll use the same seed under the hood, and then you can keep playing it until you get it. It's uses the exact same seed. Maybe it changes the seed, but keeps the same conditions the same. Anyways, there should be a way to get it from a share code. So maybe somebody in chat knows one and can share it. Or maybe we should like find one on the dev team and share it so that people who really just want that last card can find it. But yeah, it is random, so I do know that it takes longer for some people to find it than others. So I wish you the best of luck. There's no other secret to it, though. All right, Cricket says, thanks for the Dripfall buff. You're welcome. Yeah, all right, so which way are we going here? Let's see, what do we want to do? I mean, we've got this nice strike hard, so it's definitely tempting to go to the Merchant of Steel. I do kind of want to buff Glimmer with magic power, but let's check out the unit buffs. I mean, we've got such nice synergy there. All right, do we want to take any of these guys? Ooh, even more multi-strike. So Animus of Will also scale very well with additional damage since it has so much multi-strike with the extra stack. That said, though, because we also have our unit cycling, do we even want to take more units, or do we just want to focus all of our upgrades on Big Sludge and just make him our main tank? I don't know. Let's go. Let's try Animus of Will. Let's give it a shot. We might need 2 floors of damage in later battles. Large Stone is interesting. That scales extremely well with our Animus of Will, although I care less about the extra health here. Well, we should probably still buy it. I'm feeling like I don't want to put Large Stone on Big Sludge because of the capacity change, but for Animus of Will as like a second floor attacker, I think it's acceptable, so let's do that. Who do we want to put? Yeah, Big Sludge. We want him getting kills, because right now with our capacity, we're not going to have a lot of other units dying on the same floor as him, although it scales extremely well on Animus of Will too. All right, let's put it on Big Sludge for now, and we can keep our options open for upgrades in the future. Maybe I'll buy a Purge. Should I buy a Purge, or should I just save my money? All right, I'll save it for now. Let's see. Let's see if we can go without that. Okay. J-Die says, Mark, if your capacity cost is 5, do you cost a lot of Ember? No, it just means I need to lose some weight. I'm on a diet right now. I need to get my my capacity down. All right. I'm taking all trials, as we talked about, because I want to try to score in the top, and it seems like other players must have, given the points that they have. Oh, this is going to be annoying. So we've got Spikes, we've got Conduit Infiltrator with Haste, but we do have Endless on all these guys, so do we care? Maybe we don't care. Put Big Sledge in the back. Alright, we're wiping them all out. Since these guys have haste, what do we want to do about that? Well, I want to get this, so I'm putting my unit up there. Alright, let's see what happens. Okay, that looks good. Big Sledge has a lot of attack damage right now, but he also has, unfortunately, low amount of health here. Let's definitely cast Sting. Oh, I should have done it up there. That was a waste. I could Drip Fall this Conduit Infiltrator. We have nothing else to do. Might as well. Let's do that. Alright. Okay, so actually Glimmer is going to be decently useful right here. So that wipes out the other unit. Unfortunately, the Stealth 5 is still pretty annoying here. So what do we want to do? We're going to get back both cards in our hand. I'm now 100% regretting having played this Train Steward here. I definitely should not have done that, because now we don't have enough room to play both our champion and Big Sludge. Is there anything that we can do that's useful here? If we can only play one, which one will we want to play? I'm going to play both Molten Encasements up here, I think. Alright, well, we'll figure it out. We definitely don't want to play any of these guys. Puffy Sama says, how do you get the googly eyes? So, very good question. It's a new feature. So, if you are familiar with the fact that googly eyes is a new part of the Wild Mutations update, it was initially, and it still is, available as a mutator, but as you can see here in the daily challenge, I do not have the googly eyes mutator selected. We added a new settings because players wanted it. This is out now. This is available as of a day or two ago. You can set googly eyes in your graphics settings to be on at all times in all modes. So if you use this toggle right here, you can turn on googly eyes. So that is there. I hope you like it. Alright, he's still got 3 stacks of stealth, which means there's going to be 3 rounds of combat where we're not going to be able to attack. So I think, let's see, 3 rounds of combat is also 30 damage. So I think we actually can't really do anything here, unfortunately. So we're going to have to rely on this floor to get the kill, which unfortunately, you know, means definitely not great overall for our score. So we're losing points. To answer the points question, because we didn't kill this guy earlier, and he's gotten all the way up here. I'm pretty sure he's dead now. Yeah. That is definitely a bit annoying here, but he's just going to get wailed on because we got all that stealth. So there we go. But that did definitely reduce our boss rush bonus. That's how you can get a lot of extra points, particularly against the flying bosses. All right. So we took 1 drip fall, which combos nicely with our iron drop cage. The thing that's nice about drip fall too is it helps mitigate against ninja training. So we can, like, if we get a drip fall into our hand at the right time, we can stun the boss for multiple turns, which means their stealth wears off without them being able to attack, which would be really nice. So I guess my question is, I feel like I don't care about healing like at all because of Never Say Die, but do we want to take hallowed drippings, drip fall, or nothing is kind of where I'm at. So apply burnout 3. We've got a couple of burnout guys that maybe should be playing differently. I don't know. But if I take another drip fall, it's more likely I'll get it in my hand at the times that I want it. So, however, we could just copy a drip fall down the line after buffing it. So I might wait for that. Let's check our map as well and see what's coming up. So we've got a Herzl's Horde. I feel like I already don't want more units, so I don't care about the banner there. I didn't take any damage. I've got a card duplication, so I'll probably go for the Horde, but yeah, I don't know here. Thinking about it. I'm just going to go for another drip fall. Let's go all in on iron drop cage. Wildwood sap. Nope. Steel enhancer. Nope. What kind of rule is this? These 2 cards we were offered last time. Restoration, detonation. Do we want that? Nope. I'm skipping. That is really key. This comes up periodically. We have some people on stream ask, how do I get better at the game? And I'll reiterate this. I think for players that are brand new to the kind of deck building genre, one of the most important things is you don't always have to take a card. If it doesn't have synergy with your deck, use the skip option and you get a little bit of gold. But even more important, it means you don't get cards clogging your deck that have no synergy with your strategy. And the other thing is, you should definitely prioritize purging at times. Getting cards out of your deck that don't have synergy is also really important to developing a strong, synergistic deck that can be really strong. So those are like I just said strong twice, but that can be really powerful, let's say. So those are my 2 tips really for players new to the deck building genre who are maybe struggling a little bit, is don't take cards if they don't fit your strategy, and purge whenever you can whatever cards also don't fit your strategy. Often these early game cards like Restores, sometimes those actually can synergize, these like starter cards, but often they don't, and so you often want to get rid of them. And for sure the #1 purged card in the game is Train Steward by a huge margin, so definitely think about purging your Train Stewards if you're not already. All right, Fluffatron UK says, please tell me that Erase All Save Data button is just casually sitting there in the settings menu next to the other toggles, has some nice safeguards. Okay, interesting you bring it up. This changed. When this shipped, Erase All Save Data used to be right here. And it did have a safeguard. The safeguard was just said something like, are you sure? I can't remember exactly what the wording used to be. However, we had numerous, I'd say not numerous, maybe like some players, a few players, told us that they wiped all their save data, because this does delete all of your progress by using this option without realizing what the impact would be, because they thought maybe it was just going to reset the settings to default. So we wanted to address that, so we changed how it works. So I'll click it right now. So this is what it does now. You can't even push the button right now. You have to wait. And it tells you clearly what it does. This is going to reset all of the progress you've made, including unlock clans, XP, cards and artifacts, mastered cards, covenant ranks. So yeah, you really want to be darn sure you want to press this before doing it. So be careful. We also moved it to this little button here instead of being down here to kind of like bury it a little bit more and make it less desirable to click on. So I'm hopeful that all of that fixed the problem. I can say for sure that I personally have never seen anybody report that as a problem since we changed it, so hopefully that means it's totally fixed. All right, Crackalack and Chris, have you thought about giving more gold for skipping cards? No, we haven't actually. We have not specifically thought about doing that. I think, as far as I know, we're happy where, like, kind of where the gold is currently for that. In terms of the balance of the economy. Like, really, you could argue, I think, that the main benefit of skipping cards is not the gold. It's just not getting, you know, anti-synergy cards into your deck so that you draw the cards that do have synergy faster. It's really what the main bonus is. All right, I don't think I want to copy anything right now. I feel like I've got good number of cards that I like and want to use, so I'm going to go here. I'll just go to the Horde first. All right, Pyre gets extra attack or the all and famously talked about Volatile Gauge, with a lot of people saying they hate the fact that we changed it and we slightly nerfed it. I can say that so far the analytics data, for everybody interested in this nerf that we did, this used to be, it randomizes the Ember cost between 1 and 3 right now and gives you 3 more cards per turn. It used to be 0 and 3. This has not had a huge impact on win rate, so it's still a good artifact. Yes, win rate went down, but it's still good. So that's what it looks like the data is saying so far, which is what we wanted it to do. That was the goal of the nerf, was it to not be like absolutely the best artifact in every single time it comes up. So that is my understanding. And if you have more questions about that, definitely you can ask me, but you can go into even more detail in a stream a week from today where Andrew, the lead designer of Monster Train, will be talking about those types of things. All right, giving our Pyre more attack isn't super enticing, but nor is Volatile Gauge given our current deck. We don't have a lot of high-cost cards, really, so that seems anti-synergistic, so I guess I'll take Boon of the Blacksmith. I could also skip the artifact, but I don't think it's worth skipping for just 25 gold in this case. All right, let's check the caverns. What did we get? The Remains of Armageddon. All right, so we can take the Most Blessed Sword, Thy Holiest Shield, or Petrified Skull. Which of these seems the most useful for what we are doing? Thy Holiest Shield is definitely nice. It's nice on Big Sludge because it keeps him alive longer, especially if we've built up those rage stacks. Most Blessed Sword is also pretty nice. We did take Glimmer, though, so this is a way better Glimmer, except for the fact that it has Purge, but we also buffed this in Mild Mutations. I don't know. I'm leaning towards Thy Holiest Shield for Big Sludge. And I know a secret that probably anybody who's played the game a decent amount may know about this event, is if we don't use this card for 2 battles, we're going to get Hope for Peace, which is an artifact that changes it from Purge to Consume. So then we can use it in every battle from then on. That said, though, overall, I don't think this has super high synergy with what we're doing. Like, ideally, you'd want some way to get it back into your hand multiple times in a single battle. We can copy it, though, too. I don't know. I'm torn. Let's try it. Let's just give it a shot for fun. All right. Crackalack and Chris, are you working on buffing or reworking any other artifacts? Yes. I guess that's all I have to announce at this time, and we're definitely thinking about adding more artifacts to the game, too, in all clans. So be on the lookout for future announcements. All right, do I want Awoken Hollow? No. Do I want Vine Mother? Probably not. No, because I want to keep saving space to get my big guys back after they die so that I can replace them in the train. So I'm going to skip on both of those. All right, we got the Explosive Sigil variant of Daedalus. Okay, what do I want to do here? Definitely am going to Molten Encasement. We can wipe out this wave if I do that. Guess my next question is I want Big Sludge to build up some stacks. Why not? Let's give that a shot. So I can just tank. I'll just tank the damage. Might as well. And then we can get 100 damage on Daedalus. So with Dripfall, we're now going to get 3 daze stacks. You can daze the constructive explosive, which causes its trigger to not fire. That's one thing that daze does, which is nice. Maybe we should put that in the tooltip. I don't think we actually do. We could do it to Daedalus also. You can start, even though he's not in the Relentless phase yet, you can start building up stacks of dazed, and they will carry over into Relentless, so that might be worth doing, perhaps. Or we could try to keep Big Sludge, his stacks building. I mean, if I was going to do that, I should stun one of these two guys, I think. And it's the bomb. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, we can give Big Sludge a little bit of heal. All right. Dan Wolf, Mark is looking a tad more dapper today. Well, thank you very much. I, did my hair. Wanted to look good just for you. All right, there we go. We're going to get some nice stacks of stealth here, which is going to be great if Daedalus gets into his Relentless phase. I don't want to play these Train Stewards because I don't want to make the same mistake that I made last time to end up with no space to replay some of my other units that I care more about. Okay, so now with Endless, we're really piling on the stealth here, which is really good for Big Sludge. We're also boosting his harvest quite a bit. See, this is where we wanted to buff harvest, but felt like we couldn't with the previous morsel harvest interaction. So now, not only am I getting kills on the enemy side, which is giving me more harvest, I'm also having my own Molten Encasement units dying, giving me more harvest. Here's where Glimmer's going to look nice. Unfortunately, Thy Holiest Shield's going to be a bit of a wash here, but we're going to be able to trigger all of them. 184 times 2, that's looking good. So I think we're close to having Daedalus go into Relentless mode. Maybe I should just start playing down here. It does mean we can't trigger stealth. I should have waited one more turn. Maybe we can kill him, though? Yes. So this is how you get a lot of points. You got to kill him before he enters into Relentless mode. So we've done it. All right, here we go. We've got our champ to tank that, and we've got, boom, big hits. Really big hits from Big Sludge. So I'm with that player I mentioned earlier who sent feedback in saying that Big Sludge is good. Big Sludge seems pretty good now. All right. Big Sludge with Quick is even better. So I'm definitely attracted to Wildwood Tome for sure right here. Bounty Stalker, he's great with multi-strike and his permanent increase in damage. However, I think I want to keep focusing on Big Sludge, so I'm actually not going to go for him. In Cycle of Life, I'm not going for spikes at all. I don't care about that. Let's go Wildwood Tome. Do I want Paraffin? Paraffin Thug is pretty nice with the fact that we could try to get his attack up to get more slay triggers. That's tempting. He's hard to keep alive, but we've got some frontline blocker type units now. I think I'm going to go greedy. I'm going to see if I can get some value out of that. Okay, I definitely want Light of Seraph to add capacity. I'm feeling for sure like I can get more value if I had more capacity available to me. Crackalack and Chris, why the nerf on Bounty Stalker? I don't know. So save that question for next week for Andrew. I don't remember what we did specifically to Bounty Stalker, so I can't comment on it, unfortunately. Okay, interestingly, it looks like a lot of players have died on Battle 4. So on Battle 3, only, out of all the people, there's like thousands that have played this daily challenge, only 5 people have died on Battle 3. So that's clearly not a hard one. So, but however, something like 100 people have died, 85 people or whatever it is, have died on this battle. So, including AAA Never Run. So we'll see what happens here. Okay, I really do want to purge, and I want to keep upgrading my units. Gold is attractive, and I still do want to get magic power onto Glimmer, but it's not super attractive, so I think I'm gonna go this way because I want to purge badly. I'm gonna check the merchant first just to see what we've got. Okay, we can get quick permanently on somebody. That is very tempting to put on either of these units, but especially Big Sludge, especially as his harvest ramps up. So that, I'm probably gonna do that, I'm thinking. We could go Strength Stone on Animus of Will. 28 times 4 is pretty good. Could be better. We could also Strength Stone on Parathin Thug, too. Do we care about his survivability? I don't think we should be prioritizing that. I think we can protect him with other units, basically. I mean, quick on him's not bad, too, right? Since he has low survivability, it makes it more likely he could be in, like, a second floor to clean up units without dying and without needing protection. Very challenging decision, I feel like. Here, all right, let's leave for a second. I'll check out the unit. Ooh, I do love my Wickless Tycoon. Gaining gold on harvest also very nice. But I did just take Parathin Thug. I think it'll be too many units, so I'm gonna skip. All right, in terms of the purge, I actually did get like some minor value out of Restore with healing Big Sludge, so I do think Restore is kind of a dead card to me, but I think Train Steward or Dreg is even more dead. Yeah, I've hardly cast any of those guys. I think Dregs are slightly more useful because we just got the capacity upgrade. We might be able to slot them in sometimes. So I think I'm going to go through the old classic and start getting rid of Train Stewards. However, Wicked Blaze is even worse though, because we can never reform anything. Because no units ever go to the consume pile. So I am also going to get rid of Wicked Blaze, because that is a card that's just never even castable. Okay, so in terms of our upgrades, though, we got to decide. I want to put quick on somebody for sure. Should it go on Parathin Thug, or should it go on Big Sludge? I mean, we saw in the last battle, Big Sludge had 200 attack. So 200 attack with multi-strike and quick is really good. We did just get the book, though, too. So we could keep Big Sludge open to potentially getting a different upgrade. Because we got Wildwood Tome, and we can put quick on him if he starts getting out of control. So maybe I'll do it on Parathin Thug and reroll. I may come to regret that decision, but let's go with it. And Strength Stone, I feel like I should put on somebody. Maybe I should put it on him because he's got quick now, and now he can have 60 damage. Let's do that. All right. And we've got Large Stone again. We do have some more flexibility because I took Light of Seraph, so we've got a bit more capacity room for somebody like Big Sludge. We could put 2 of them here. I mean, this is starting to get to be a lot of damage. I don't know. Thinking about it. Spikes 4, no way. Heartstone, don't care. So I think my question is, do I want to put Large Stone on somebody, yes or no? I feel like since we went for capacity, I'm tempted to. And we might go for capacity again if we defeat Fell. So if we go for it twice, we've definitely got more flexibility here. Is there anything better we would want to wait for Big Sludge? Let's put it on Big Sludge. It gives him more survivability. Just go for it. Let's go all in on the Sludge. I'm going to pay some more gold to purge another card. I'm going to get rid of another Train Steward. Alright. Optimizing our deck. And in terms of champion upgrades, we're definitely just sticking with Burn Bright here, so just get even more damage out of it. Captain Poopyhead says, put it on the Animus so Harvest triggers even more. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, if they were in the same room together, and we might get to 7 capacity if we take another Light of Seraph, which we probably will. I just took a trial that's going to give units another stack of multi-strike. That might be why a lot of people died here. So now there's going to be quite a bit of multi-strike. What we need to do is we need to kill them very fast, which looks like we're going to. So Big Sludge is going to trash them. And we can even get our stealth stacks Oh, I wish I had more Ember. We could get some stealth stacks rolling. Unfortunately, I can't play both Molten Encasement, so that's a sad face right there. But let's do it. Should we play this drag? No, I don't want to draw him. Okay, so our strategy is looking quite nice here. Crackalack and Chris, do you have a recommended deck size for winning games? I tend to hover in the high teens to low 20s. I mean, I think that's probably the most common area to be for people really trying to optimize their play. It is now possible, and there's an achievement for winning the game with 0 cards. If you can win a run with 0 cards in your deck, which is now possible because there's a mutator that takes your champion out, you can do that. And there's also one if you have over 40 cards. It's very hard to create a cohesive strategy with that many cards in your deck, however. All right, what do I want to do here? Now I'll go for that. Okay, if we draw our Wildwood Tome, I'm definitely putting it on Big Sludge because he is starting to pile up his power. Ooh, it's so tempting to put Paraffin Thug in here, though, because we'll start getting more gold. That's definitely the greed play. Do we want to do that? Probably it's too greedy. That's what I'm thinking. Ah, I wish I could play him there, too. Should we do it? Yes or no? If I do it, I can no longer play Molten Encasement in here, which sucks. I wish we had more capacity. What should we do? What should we do? Yeah, let's go. Let's go greed. YOLO. Play him there. All right. We can now put Quick on Big Sludge, so that is going to be pretty nice. Could also throw Damage Shield on him, just to pile that on right now, but let's go for Quick. We probably will not draw this card again before the end of the battle, so what the hell, I'll just put it on him. Oh, it purged. That was a misplay. I was trying to hold on to it until we got Hope for Peace. Oh well. Well, now our deck's smaller. It's okay. I'm still feeling pretty good. Now, why did I get the Drip Falls during this turn? I wish I had them on the turn after that. We could... Is there any point we could throw our Rector Flicker down there? Might as well do that. He's going to be stunned for 1 turn. He's just going to die. It's better to throw that unit down there. We could throw them both down there. He's just going to burn out anyways. I don't think it matters, pretty much. If we pull down... I could have... Yeah, what I should have done probably is pull down Molten Encasement first and then the Animus of Will. That would have been better, because then we could have gotten a trigger off of it. If we had some way to kill the Molten Encasement, that would be great right now, but we don't, so I'm just going to leave him. And we're showing Death, which is great. Alright, it's looking good. It's looking good. Okay, there we go. Aaron 2A, do it. Don't let your memes be dreams. Thank you. Thank you for the for the support. I appreciate it. Alright. Big Sludge with googly eyes doing work. Tomb units get plus 30 health and burnout 1. Do we want that? Probably. This got redesigned in the update. We probably want that because we're going to get the harvest triggers anyways, and we have endless, so yeah, let's go for that. And they can chump block a bit more damage, which makes it more likely to keep off of Big Sludge, who's really who we're trying to protect at this point, so let's go for it. Votivary also triggers Harvest. Nice combo there. It helps us draw cards. That's my cat. Hello, cat. Engulfed in Smoke. Apply Stealth 2 to friendly units. We already have a lot of stealth being generated, so I don't care about that much. Mortal Entrapment's not kind of synergistic with what we're doing. I guess my question is, do we want to take Votivary to get Harvest triggers or not? I think that's my question here. Does cost 0. It's easy to cast. I think it's good synergy. Let's try it. Restoring Retreat can also trigger Iron Drop Cage, but we've already got 2 Drip Falls, so I'm gonna skip that. I do really like Wildwood Custodian just to get the free extra card draw. It just increases your possibilities. I often take this card whenever it's offered. We've also seemed to have plenty of space in the top floor for him, so maybe it's okay. All right, Cave Retain, sorry, butchering it. Ladder for Hell Rush. That's a cool idea. I think if we haven't thought about that deeply on how to do it, but I would like to encourage Hell Rush to be even more competitive. So we're not currently working on that, but I think that's an interesting one, and I would like to explore it if we have time. And Captain Poopyhead says, can we see the cat? Sure. My cat's had a few cameos on stream, so why not another one? All right, come on. It's cameo time. Oops. There we go. There he is. Okay. This is Chief. Chief, the big cat. There he is. His hair is everywhere. All right. Good boy. Thanks for showing up on the stream. Okay. With that, actually, I'm out of time. I think I'm going to end my stream with Chief's meowing as well. He must want some food or something, so I better go attend to that. Thanks, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Come next week for Andrew, the lead designer of Monster Train, who can go deep talking about various design decisions. And I hope you look forward to our future updates. We're continuing to support Monster Train, and we've got more coming, so be on the lookout. All right. Thank you. Until next time.